Creating a welcome series is one of the best ways to get people engaged in your emails right after they sign up. You can use workflows in HubSpot to do that, but you can also make sure that the right people get the right message in that nurture welcome. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to do that with a workflow. So the first thing we need to do in setting up our workflow is we need to determine when someone meets that criteria. So in this case, we're going to use form events, and we're going to find those under websites and media, and we're going to have a form submission. So in this case, we're working on the Pawnee Parks best newsletter sign up ever. So when someone submits this form, this is going to be the enrollment criteria, and we want to make sure that someone can enroll and get that multiple times. Most likely, they won't need to get this enrollment again because they'll get the welcome email the first time. So the next thing we need to do is make sure that they are subscribed to the marketing email that we are looking for. So messaging channel is going to be email. We're looking at subscribe status. We're going to subscribe them to the Pawnee Parks and Rec newsletter, and we're going to say that they had freely given consent, signed up for the newsletter on the website, and we will save. Okay, so they're subscribed. If you happen to have a HubSpot portal that requires you to also make them a marketing contact, I'm giving this demonstration here in our test portal, which does not have marketing contacts. But if you do, you would want to add a step here that you look for set marketing status, contact status, and that would pop up under the marketing area here. So again, if you have that, make sure that that step's also taken care of. So then the next thing we want to do is we want to send them immediately the email that we'd want to welcome them to the newsletter. So in this case, we need to have an automated email set up and saved for automation. And we're going to use the enrolled contact, and we're going to look for email welcome here, number one. So it's loading us a preview. You can see what this looks like. Well, hello there. It's from Leslie herself. And we're going to go ahead and click on save. Okay, so this is actually what we're going to use to start our process here. So we're going to name this our newsletter, Pawnee Parks newsletter welcome, initial send after form submission. Okay, so we're going to save that. Now let's take a look at any of the additional details here. So if we're going to look at our settings, is there any sort of a suppression list? We might want to make sure that we suppress people who have hard bounced, because we don't want to send or try to send any emails there. We're not going to put any goals here because actually our goals then come in our next email or our next workflow we're going to set up. But here we've got this very simple. So this, a lot of times people can get through without a lot of help. So we're going to go ahead and review and publish this. We can see if we wanted to actually send this to anybody who had submitted this form previously. But if we did that, we'd then send an email right now, even if they submitted the form, let's say a year ago. So most likely, even though we have 0, we want to say no here. And then the rest of this, we should be able to proceed. It's going to give us very specific questions. If you have enterprise, you can actually then choose to run these certain workflows at a certain time, or you can choose to get email notifications if something needs review. If you're in pro, this is limited, but we're going to go ahead and just continue here and turn this workflow on. Okay, so now that is our first workflow. So that's the initial send. Now we're going to create a workflow that we want to send the additional emails that would drip to somebody if they happen to also then hit the lead or subscriber criteria. So in this case, we're going to, we're going to go back one. That's not what I wanted to do. We're going to go to our form submission as again, and we're going to select form submission. We're going to select that Pawnee Parks again. And in this case, we're going to save and continue. And we do not want to send this right away. So keep in mind, again, we want to send this now 2 days after. So we're going to delay for 2 days. So 2 here. And then because let's say someone submitted the form at 11 p.m. at night. If we delay for 2 days, we're going to send the next one at 11 p.m. So we also want to delay to a specific time of day. So let's do specific time of day. So we're going to use their account on their IP settings, and we're going to say 12 o'clock p.m. So if this happens to be 2 days and then it's 12 p.m. the next day, it could be anywhere from 2 to 2.5 days here. So now we've got, they submitted the form, and then 2 days later, now we're going to go ahead and send them the email communications. So let's send our email here. We're going to select email number 2. So enrolled contact. Let's look for email number 2. Email number 2, again, keep in mind our welcome series are getting people excited about the emails and getting them excited to take action, because that engagement material or that engagement criteria is really, really important in creating a strong engagement profile. So we've got email number 2 set right there. Now let's go ahead and delay again. We're going to delay for another 2 days. And we're going to say that if this was sent again at 12 p.m., most likely it will then send at 12 p.m. when it sends again. So we don't need to add another delay here. Let's send email number 3. So we're going to go here, send email number 3, and we'll select this. And this is going to be about upcoming events with Parks and Rec. If you want to go to Leslie's Waffle Cookout, you can do that as well. We're going to delay for 2 more days. And then we'll send email number 4. So let's find email number 4, and we're going to add that here, and subscriber number 4, and save. Okay, so now we've got our emails structured so they can be sent. But what happens if someone in the meantime, these emails are, again, drawing people in, getting them engagement, but what if at the same time they request a demo? Or if they happen to talk to a sales team member, or in this case, maybe they've already signed up to be a volunteer. So we want to pull them out of this workflow if that happens. And one of the ways that people have done this, and we've seen a lot of this in workflow building, is they'll add an if-then branch. But this is actually an excellent use case for using workflow goals. So workflow goals are going to be the things that happen that someone, if they meet this, they get pulled out of the workflow. So in this case, we're going to say, if they happen to achieve the marketing qualified lead, oops, actually the life cycle stage. So if they happen to become a marketing qualified lead, sales qualified lead, opportunity, or customer, as this is running, then they will be pulled out and they will not get any additional sends. So also for the suppression list, the reason we add a suppression list here is because then you don't get any sort of issues when somebody hard bounces. You might also want to choose to remove anybody who had opted out of email. Again, those are going to be optional. If you do not add a suppression list for those 2 things, you'll just get error message, which you can ignore when the workflow fires. So we're going to go ahead and click on save. And again, re-enrollment settings are off because we don't want someone to get 2 versions of these emails. We're going to name this Pawnee Parks Welcome Series Lead and Subscriber Only. And then we will save it. All right, so now they're going to get enrolled in this email nurture, or in this case, email welcome series with email 2, 3, and 4. And we're only going to welcome them if they happen to have the life cycle stage of lead or subscriber. And now we're going to review and publish this. Same sort of thing. It's going to find anybody who had submitted that form. We're going to say no. We're going to click continue, 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 and turn on that workflow. So now when we go back to our workflows, you'll see that we've got these 2 workflows set up. So we've got the initial form and then the lead and subscriber only. And that's it. That's how to use 2 workflows to originally welcome someone to your email newsletter. And then for those that happen to fit the lead or subscriber, to continue to nurture those folks in the hopes that they might take actions and do some more things with your company. For more tips, tricks, and how-tos, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.